Today, I want to share with everyone a small, cute, easy to make, and extremely delicious cake. With just a few familiar ingredients such as eggs, milk, sugar, and a little cocoa powder, we can make soft cakes in simple glass jars. This cake does not require an oven, does not need many complicated tools. Anyone can make it at home. First, I prepared 4 small, pretty glass jars. I chose 2 tall jars and 2 short jars so that the cake would look more varied and lovely when finished. Then, I cracked an egg into each jar. Dividing them evenly like this helps us easily adjust the amount of ingredients in each jar, and when steamed, the cake will also cook more evenly. The yolks and whites will blend together to create a beautiful yellow color, making you want to eat it. Next, I added a teaspoon of sugar to each jar. Just a little bit so that the cake has a light, just enough sweetness. Then I added a spoonful of milk to each jar. The milk makes the egg mixture more fragrant, richer, and when steamed, the cake will be as soft and smooth as cream. When I have added enough ingredients, I took a small plate and stirred each jar. While stirring, you will see the eggs, sugar, and milk slowly blend together, creating a smooth and very beautiful mixture. The light aroma of milk mixed with eggs also begins to waft. After stirring the eggs, milk, and sugar in each jar, I started adding ingredients to create a unique flavor for the cake. In the 2 tall glass jars, I added 2 teaspoons of cocoa powder to each jar. The aroma of cocoa will help the cake have a richer flavor and a beautiful brown color. As for the 2 short jars, I added 2 teaspoons of flour to each jar to create adhesion and help the cake have a soft texture when steamed. Next, in each jar, I added 2 teaspoons of lemon juice. The lemon juice gives the cake a light aroma, while also increasing the freshness of the mixture. Then, I added 2 teaspoons of olive oil to each jar. The olive oil will help the cake to be softer, retain moisture, and create a light, fatty feeling that is very pleasant to eat. I have prepared some shredded lemon peel, which is fragrant and goes well with cocoa and eggs. I put a little bit in each jar, both to increase the aroma and to give the cake a unique flavor that is hard to miss. Then, I lightly sprinkle a little vanilla powder into each jar to create a gentle aroma. And finally, I sprinkle a little yeast into each jar, the ingredient that will help our cake rise beautifully when steamed. Now, I will use a small fork and spoon to stir all the ingredients in each jar. As I stir, you will see the mixture begin to blend together, creating a very beautiful color. The light aroma of cocoa and lemon peel also wafts up, making me even more excited. Once each jar has been stirred smoothly and evenly, I move on to adding the special topping. With the 2 cocoa-flavored jars, I drop a small chocolate ball into each jar. When steamed, the chocolate ball will melt gently inside, creating a very attractive layer of soft, molten filling that melts in your mouth as you eat it. After adding the chocolate, I cover each jar to prepare for the next step. Once everything was ready, I started steaming the cakes. I lined the bottom of the pot with a thin towel. This is a little trick to prevent the glass jars from banging when the water boiled, and also to make the steaming process smoother and more even. Then I placed all 4 jars in the pot. Next, I poured water into the pot, enough to cover about half of the jars. Then I placed the pot on the gas stove and turned on medium heat. I steamed the cakes for 20 minutes. When the water started to boil strongly and steam rose, I gently open the lid to avoid the water on the lid falling down and making the cake surface pitted. Wait a little longer for the heat to cool down. Then I turned off the stove. Finally, I carefully used a towel or gloves to take each jar out. The rising steam and the aroma from the 4 jars made me feel very excited before enjoying the finished product. After the cakes were steamed and I took the jars out, it was time to open the lids to check the finished product. First, I opened the 2 small cake jars. As soon as the lids were opened, the aroma from the eggs, milk, and vanilla wafted out very pleasantly. I used a spoon to lightly scoop a corner of the cake to check the fluffiness. The cake was soft, smooth, and slightly elastic, just as desired. Next, I scooped the cocoa cake out and put it into 2 small cups to decorate it more beautifully. The cake layer inside had a beautiful dark brown color, and when I scooped it up, I saw that the chocolate filling underneath had melted, creating a very attractive, smooth layer. To make the cake more eye-catching, I drizzle a little isotonic syrup on top. It can be chocolate syrup or caramel syrup, depending on your preference. Finally, I added a chocolate chip on top of each cocoa cup, both for decoration and to add a rich flavor when enjoying. Overall, the 4 cakes in the jar and in the cup look extremely cute and delicious. So my egg cake in a glass jar is done. With just a few simple steps, familiar ingredients such as eggs, milk, cocoa, chocolate, and a little lemon peel, we have created soft, sweet, spongy, and extremely cute cakes. From color to flavor, each jar of cake has its own unique features. Some are soft and smooth, some have a strong cocoa flavor, and also have a very attractive melted chocolate filling. The special thing about this cake is its extremely high applicability. You can make this cake for a light but nutritious breakfast, as a dessert after dinner, or even use it to treat friends when you have a gathering. The cake is also very suitable as a small gift. Just tie a bow on the lid of the jar for a sweet and delicate gift. And because the cake is made in a glass jar, you can completely store it in the refrigerator. When eating, just open the lid and you have a delicious dish right away. I hope today's cake will inspire you to get in the kitchen and try out some cute sweets like this. If you find this video useful and interesting, please like, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel to look forward to more great tips and new dishes that I will share in the future. Thank you for taking the time to watch until the end of the video. See you in the next shares.